Hi guys, it's Jimmy, and today I've got an Australian military watch to show you. So this is a Lemania. So RAN stands for Royal Australian Navy. Circa 1950s and 1960s. I believe this one would have been issued in the 60s. It does have a tritium dial, not radium. So it's got the Swiss made with the T's. And this particular version was issued in the amount of 300, I believe. So 300 issued. It's one of 10 survivors out there, 10 original survivors. So quite a rare watch. As you can see, it's a single pusher chronograph and quite a large oversized watch. I think it's about 38 millimeters, quite a large 38, in stainless steel. It's got syringe hands, so you've got the 30-minute counter and your running seconds on the 9 o'clock side. It's got the broad arrow. As you see, this one's Lemania on the dial. There was the versions with RAN on the dial, so it had the RAN. They're rarer again and more expensive. And what we'll do is just wind it up a little bit. We'll get this chronograph going. I'll tell you what, for such an old watch, and it's a military piece, the chronograph has an absolutely amazing feel. Feels like Patek quality, like a manual Patek. It's really, that was one of the first things I noticed with it. So surprisingly smooth, and it's weighted just perfect. It's not a hard click. It's just got a really beautiful feel to it. So what we've got here is a reproduction strap. And as you can see, it's a AF0210. So these are a reproduction of the original straps that were issued in, I think, the mid-1940s, which are almost impossible to find and very expensive. So we've got this guy that reproduced the straps. You can see it's even referenced on the buckle. All the hardware's been sort of, patinaed and stonewashed or whatever they've done to give it that vintage look. It's got a very nice soft canvas. It's got the broad arrow on there. Very cool, awesome strap. The watch has the fixed spring bars, obviously being military, and the awesome case back. So this one's number 208 out of a possible 300. And what we'll do is I can open it up and actually give you a look inside. So it's only finger tight. Let's have a look at the awesome movement in this watch. So it's the Lemania caliber 2210 chronograph. So it's a manual wind chronograph, obviously because it's before the time of any automatics. The condition is just gorgeous of this movement. And even the serial number range for the movement is correct for the time of the watch. There's a certain serial number range you have to run by. The guy I bought it off, he is one of the go-to guys for Australian military stuff. His knowledge is, second to none. So I was really happy purchasing it off him, and really happy that he was happy to actually sell it to me, because I think he's kind of careful about who he will sell them to. He wants these watches to stay in the country, because a lot of them have been sold outside of Australia and end up in private collections, and is really interested in getting some back to Australia, which is a really noble effort. Let's get this case back on. So he was happy to sell it to me, knowing that the watch will stay here. And I also mentioned to him, if the time ever comes for me to move it on, that I would, first contact him to make sure it stays here. Dial is aged beautifully. You can see the lume is very dark, but yeah, that makes sense on a military watch. It would not have had an easy life. Crown and pushes, everything's original on it. It stayed in quite good condition. It's definitely seen action. And it's just cool knowing that they only issued 300 of them compared to the British version, the RN, which was issued, I think about 11,500 of them were issued. So the Australian version, 300. Runs awesome. It's in that kind of modern size. You can definitely wear it and enjoy it, which is great. And I haven't worn it much. I'm trying to take good care of it because it is getting old, and I get a little bit worried about stuff like that. I noticed the 30-minute counter resets to about 1 minute. It's not resetting perfectly, but the watch is working so nicely that I'm not touching it. It had the texture marks in the case back. It's been serviced recently, so I'm not too concerned about the fact that the subdial's not resetting perfectly. It doesn't bother me. It's a vintage watch. It's a military vintage watch, so yeah. The strap's cool. Yeah, he gave me this strap with it. It looked really cool on bong clips too, which he had the watch on. He's got a couple of bong clips. I tried to get him to part with one. Yeah, he sort of couldn't do it. He's only got a couple of them. They're hard to come by, so I'll have to try and either find one or a copy of one, a modern version. Wouldn't mind it on a bong clip as well. For you guys, if you don't know what a bong clip is, it's one of the early bracelets, which is it's hard to explain what it looks like. But anyway, you can Google it. You'll see what it is. So yeah, that's my run Lemania. I've always wanted one. I'm not going to claim to know a heap about military watches. I just know what I like, and what I'll do is I'll put it on my wrist so you can have a look. Might take a second because these bands actually have no holes in them for the pin buckle. You just have to sort of push the pin buckle through the strap. So I'll just sort of half-ass put it on there. See, it's quite a large watch, even on my wrist. So usually, you'll just push the pin buckle through the strap, and obviously put the strap through the loops. But such a cool piece. So very happy to have acquired this. I hope I'll hang on to it for a long time. I can't see it leaving the collection. So, and like I said, if it did, I'd keep it in the country. I'm not letting it go anywhere. I used to have a few military watches. I don't really have many now. Sorry guys, I can't get this damn thing off my wrist now. But I do have one more I was going to show you. I move that watch. I've got it inside the book here. Can't find the actual exact version in this book. It's one of the Dirty Dozen, but it's the lesser known brand. It's the Timor. So this is my one here. Found a photo of the Cyma version, which which is right there. So these are from, around that 1940 to 1945, and you see the radium, just how burnt it is. And then if you have a look at the case back, because military watch collectors, they all know it's all about that case back too, all the stampings. So yeah, you can see there, it's got your broad arrow, it's got the brand on the back too, so yeah, all your serial numbers. Pretty cool. I've had this one for quite a long time. Yeah, I was hoping that they'd have the actual version in this book, but they don't. So that's all, guys. I think that's been long enough. There it is. Just loving that mid-century look of this chronograph, and the fact that it's military just takes it up takes it up a notch. All right, guys. Till next time. Take care. Bye bye.